Good morning, Miami. Welcome to another Wonder Women podcast. This podcast is all about wonderful women entrepreneurs that are starting a foundation or support a foundation to help their community. And today I have the pleasure of meeting a new friend, Rosemary Carrera. Did I pronounce that right?
You did.
Yeah. From 305 Pink Pack.
Yes.
Thank you for being here with me today.
Well, thank you for the invitation. This is wonderful.
It was great meeting you the other day. I know you reached out, and we have a lot of things that we talked about, and we have a lot of things in common, at least the same purpose in life in helping our community. And it was very inspiring how you started. And I wanted to talk a little bit about you first.
Sure.
I know you're a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
What are you a doctor of?
I'm an optometrist.
Optometrist.
Yes.
Did you practice here in Miami?
I did. So my grandfather actually was an optometrist in Cuba. And when they came from Cuba, he did his revalida in Oregon at Pacific University. They had a
Really?
program for
That's far.
optometrists from Cuba, yes, where they could go and they offered them their certificate.
Wow.
But they had to learn to speak English as they were doing the coursework in English. So the families all went up there and they were there for 3 years to complete that program.
And you followed your dad's footsteps.
My grandfather, yes.
Oh, your grandfather's
Yeah.
footsteps.
So he came back to Miami, opened his practice, and then I was working there since I was 5.
Wow.
And then eventually came back and practiced after I graduated as well.
Wow. I didn't know Oregon had that type of service for Cubans that were coming.
Yeah, they did at that time. This was back in 62, 63.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of Chicago and New York, and Gainesville was very good with doctors as well, but I didn't never know about Oregon.
Yeah,
they learn something new every day.
They helped the doctors. They placed the families like in work.
Mhm.
So my grandmother was working at a sweater factory sewing buttons, and then my mom was going to school in kindergarten there.
Wow. Wow. And they could learn English really quick.
Yes.
Because if they were here, it would have been a little bit more difficult.
They had no option. Yeah.
So let's go to your journey. In 2018,
Mhm.
you get diagnosed with breast cancer. And you had no symptoms. I had our friend Izzy here, I think two podcasts ago, and she had symptoms and with rare symptoms, and her case was a little bit different. So can you share with us your process of how you got diagnosed?
Of course. And with everybody, it's completely different. Women under 40 usually tend to find their own lump doing a self-exam. And then women over 40, we want them to go for their screening mammogram every year, the latest starting at 40. And so I had just turned 40. I had just had a baby. Mm-hmm. And I was having some weird symptoms where my hands were swelling up and I couldn't open baby bottles.
Really?
Yeah. So I called my OB and he said, well, that's a primary care problem. I said, okay, I don't have a primary care doctor. Who do I go to? Right. And so I called my mom's primary care. 6 months later, I was able to get in to see him, but he was an absolute angel. And he made sure that, he addressed everything. At that point, my hands weren't swollen anymore. So I'm surprised I even went to the appointment. You know how it is.
Right.
If it's done, if it's gone, it's gone. And he went through everything. He, ordered a bunch of tests. And as I'm walking out of the room, he says, oh, by the way, we're also going to order your mammogram. I said, why? He said, you're 40. It's time. Okay. This is the first I hear of this, but sure. And as I'm walking away, he says, go ahead and schedule it at Baptist and you can get all the tests done at the same time. Had he not said that to me, I probably wouldn't have had it done and I wouldn't have been here today.
Wow.
Because at that point, when I went in for the first screening mammogram, they couldn't see anything because my breasts were so dense. And the technician was surprised that it was my first mammogram. And she says, this is very, very dense. You should have been having mammograms done for a while. I said, how was I supposed to know that? Huh. And so she said, don't worry. They're going to call you to do additional testing because we can't see really any of your tissue.
Did you do an MRI?
So afterwards, when I came back in for the secondary mammogram, for the diagnostic mammogram, and for the ultrasound is what revealed some things there. So they found 2 suspicious areas, which the radiologist came into the room like how Kramer comes into Seinfeld's room, and he says, it's unlikely that two tumors next to each other are both cancerous, but we're going to get them both biopsied anyway. And shut the door. I was like, what just happened here? Excuse me? And sure enough, they biopsied that and it came back as cancerous. And then when they did the MRI just to see, the full picture of everything that was going on, they found more tumors. And so it was multiple tumors, no symptoms whatsoever. I never felt the lump. I never had anything going on. And there we were with my daughter being 8 months old and having to now pivot to this instead of focusing on the joy of being a new parent.
I can't even imagine what you were going through at that moment, because it's your first mammogram, right? Mm-hmm. And you usually go in there. I remember my first mammogram, and I'm going to come out fine.
Right.
And may I ask the doctor's name?
The primary, Martin Herriart.
Well, thank you, Martin.
Yes, no, he is.
That's an amazing doctor.
He is one of our angels, that is for sure.
Wow. I have to say, primary doctors are extremely important, and I don't think we appreciate them as much as we should.
I agree.
And we as women, we concentrate a lot on our gynecologists, mm-hmm. but we still should be going to our primary doctors to check other things that we don't check out. And if he wouldn't have done that, wow.
Exactly right. I really would not.
And you would have been so busy with the baby. Oh. And it would have never crossed your mind.
Just like women and moms that we are, we leave everything
right
to the back burner.
Yeah, to the back burner. Yeah,
everybody else first, and make sure that everything else is under control before we take the time to care for ourselves.
Yes, that's amazing story. But your attitude is more amazing than that. And I know one of the things that you talk about a lot is about your family and how everybody joined together to help you. How was that? How was that process when your family joined together?
It was one of those things that you didn't even have to ask. It was just everybody took their role. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, we're doing this. And so they completely...
With an 8-month-old.
Yeah. They completely took over our lives. And had they not done that, I really don't know how we would have gone through the process, because my first part of treatment was a double mastectomy. And so with the double mastectomy, I couldn't carry anything more than 5 pounds.
You can't lift anything.
I couldn't lift my arms. I couldn't have anything on top of me. So I couldn't have my daughter on top of me out of the risk of that she might hit me. And so, my parents and my in-laws were taking her from house to house. So they would have her over here a few days, have her over there a few days. They'd bring her over for a few hours when I was feeling well, so that she could at least be around, because I couldn't have her on top of me.
Wow.
And so they were doing that.
That must have been really hard.
Yeah. My grandmother was cooking for us. My sister was taking me to appointments. My husband was working because I had to stop working. And it really took every one of us to take part in my
It was a
healing.
village.
Yeah. You need your village.
You need your village. And that's what you've created with 305 Pinkback. You have created a village. And I know I want to bring up Suzette, your first cancer friend.
My first cancer friend, yes.
She comes up and shows up with a pack of things that you may need.
Yep.
And I think that's how the whole story starts, starting with your family regarding community. And then Suzette led you to coming up with your sister, right? Mm-hmm. This beautiful nonprofit that you started. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the pack. I was on YouTube. There's the whole video of everything that goes into a pack, and I think it's so thoughtful. So there's many things. I'm going to show a little bit of it so people could see. But there's 2 products that I really, really loved the most. Was the Miracle Fruit, and you went through a lot of radiation.
Yes.
A lot of radiation. And I think you bring up a great point regarding radiation and what you need for the process of radiation. So can you share about the
Be Cure.
Be Cure.
Yes.
So if you could share a little bit about those two things and anything else that you think it will be important for people to know.
Yes. So the pack came to be because of Suzette,
Suzette.
who I did not know before I had my treatment, but she was friends with my sister. They were coworkers previously, and she was going through ovarian cancer treatment at the time that I was diagnosed. And so she reached out as soon as she heard that I was going through this and said, "Listen, when you go to chemo, I'm going to take you a few things and we'll go through everything. And it's everything you need."
Right.
I said, okay. So sure enough, she shows up at my first chemo with this bag, bald as can be, full of things that would be helpful. And it's things that I didn't even realize that I would need during this time. You know, they give you a booklet at the hospital with things that are helpful, but you don't have the brain capacity to go through these things.
Right.
So having her sit there with me and go through it was really beautiful moment for us to share. And then that inspired our physical pack, because it's full of things that are helpful that you don't have to then stop what you're doing and go to the store and pick up, between the biotin and the lip balm and eye drops.
Because there's a lot of dryness too.
Exactly.
Dryness to chemo.
A lot of dryness and radiation as well. I mean, it dries you from inside out. And so the radiation cream that I recently came across, I didn't have it at that time, it wasn't available, is specifically made for radiation. And so when you're using it, it really heals your skin and lubricates it in a really thick way to promote healing as much as possible, and made with honey. It's
all about the bee.
Exactly. You can go to becure.com and check it out. And if you put in a promo code 305PP, then you get 20% off, and they donate 20% back to us, which is really wonderful.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really
that's
beautiful,
amazing what they're
beautiful
doing.
company to
Where's
work
the company from, if I may ask?
From California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And
then the miracle
fruit. That was something that was truly a miracle, and Suzette brought that to me that day. When you're going through chemo, you can get this really bad metallic taste in your mouth, and so to eat, it just grosses you out. Like you can't manage to even look at food, because it's just. So what this miracle fruit does is that you put it on your tongue, and it coats your tongue so that the food doesn't taste as bad, so that at least you can. It's not going to taste great, but it's not that metallic, harsh flavor anymore.
With my family that suffered through liver cancer, one of the biggest things was that it's the taste of the mouth when they're going through treatment. And it was constant, I don't want to eat. And, you have to find every way to drink a lot of water, which you put tablets also, so that you could change the taste of the water.
The electrolyte packs are amazing.
Amazing. And, I didn't know about the miracle fruit. I wish I would have known, because you need to eat a lot of protein. You need to eat really well during your treatments. And that will be, that's amazing, because it coats the tongue. It's incredible. Miracle.
It's a miracle. It's one of those things that unless you have somebody guiding you through this process who has been through it and understands all these different things that can happen, how would you find out? So it's a lot of word of mouth. And so with the pack, we've added things to it over time that, in addition to what Suzette gave me, because we've learned of all these other little things that are helpful too. And
there's new things coming up every day.
Exactly.
I believe as we move more towards the natural route, there are a lot of great things out there.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful way to incorporate these things into your treatment.
And your Instagram is very informative. I mean, you talk about food, nutrition, and you're like, you touch a little bit of everything. I want to talk a little bit about your logo that your sister and Suzette and you created. There's a reason why there's all those beautiful colors around it. Would you share with that?
Yes. So we're 305 because we're in Miami, and 786 just isn't cool.
I love when she says that.
We're pink because it started because of breast cancer. But when you look at all the colors around the logo, it represents all the colors of the cancers that women could have. Right. Because when we started, we were working solely with women. And then we're a pack because we're the pack that has your back during this time.
Yeah. And I like, there's one of your events, you said there were a bunch of kids in front of you, and you said I don't know, something, there's always a pack for it or something like this. What is this, how you say it?
Cancer's overwhelming, but there's a pack for that.
Yes. I think that was so awesome when they all said it. I need to create a pack for liver. I really do. I have to get together with Dr. Jones and figure that one out, because I think you're absolutely right. There is a need of knowing when you're going through the process. And when you have a pack, it's not only that you're getting things, it's like you're supporting.
Correct.
You're there for them, and you also give a folder with information. And you also, besides putting all those colors, I know you support a lot of cancers, but besides that, you support them in the process of their treatment. So share with us how you support them during that process if they qualify.
Yeah. So, when we think of people who are going through cancer, we think of chemo, we think the effects that has, we think of radiation, but we forget everything else that's going on in their lives. Who's taking them to appointments? Who's picking up their kids from school if they're at radiation at the same time? How are they managing to put groceries on the table? And so those are the things that we support, all those things that become challenges during that time. And so we'll provide transportation for appointments. We support their childcare needs as well as grocery assistance. And then we connect them with as many resources as possible that are available locally and nationally as well, that can support them during this time, either financially, emotionally. There's a lot of programs out there, but unless you know that they're really hard to find sometimes. And so we're there to be that umbrella resource to continue to provide you as many resources as you need, not only during your treatment, but throughout all of your survivorship. Just because you're done with our program doesn't mean we've let you go.
Right.
You're always part of this pack. And so we keep in touch with people who have been in our program since 2020, since we started.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. How many, I forgot the number, I'm sorry. How many have you so far helped with your foundation?
We are close to 500 at this point.
Wow. I think that the post I saw was 300 and something, so you've grown enormously after.
We've grown quite a bit. I think by next week is when we hit 500.
Oh wow! You have to celebrate.
Yeah,
that.
I know. And then we have at least 20 others that we're just still waiting on paperwork or information to get them started in the program. But it's incredible the need that there is in our community.
Yes, there's a lot of people suffering from cancer. There's this disease. I call it the C word.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. Every time you hear someone, it touches everybody somehow, some way. It's crazy what we're going through as a community. I know that you work with a lot of hospitals, but specifically with the social workers. When they find out that the patient has cancer, they direct them to you. But what specific hospitals do you work with, and how do people can apply for the PAC?
Yeah, so we work with patients from all hospitals, and they can apply directly online. Baptist is actually one of our partners in the community, and so we decided to, together with Baptist, create a pilot program for a men's program as well.
Yes,
so that
2026.
2026. And so we are working with a small group of male patients from Baptist to see if the same services are applicable in their case, if their family is in need of the same type of assistance that we currently provide, or if we need to shift things up a little bit. And so that next year we can open it up fully to all the hospitals.
Wow.
But anyone can apply to our program as long as they're in active treatment, or if they have a stage 4 diagnosis, and they can go directly online or go through their social worker or their nurse navigator at their treatment center.
Wow. One of the things that I learned was you talk about the community and how everybody helps, and there's people that call you and follow up with you. You also talk about you taught me about Hilda. Did I say that right? Hilda?
Yeah. Gilda's Club.
Gilda's Club. And so it's not only a PAC, it's also counseling. You partner someone with them. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, there is a lot of emotional support that's needed as you go through this process.
Right.
And as much as we would like to do it all, we can't. And there are other programs in the community that provide emotional support and do it so well. So we've partnered with them to provide that kind of service to our members.
Wow.
And so here in South Florida, we have the blessing to have Gilda's Club.
I know.
Which offers...
I met Kim.
You met Kim?
I did.
They offer incredible group support and one-on-one support with social workers. They have an incredible wellness program that you can learn about nutrition, do exercise classes. And so they have their hub in person in Fort Lauderdale, but most of their programming is also available online. And so we encourage all of our members to register through Gilda's Club so that they can have all of that support that they need. The other way of gaining support is one-on-one, peer-to-peer support, which is connecting with somebody who has been in your shoes, in as close as possible of a life situation as you have. And for that, we've partnered with Immerman Angels.
Okay.
Immerman Angels is an incredible organization that they will pair you up with a mentor if you're a patient or if you're a caregiver, so that you know how to care for someone that you love who's going
Very
through this
important.
process. Or if you're a patient, to offer you guidance onto how to be the best patient possible and how to be the best advocate for yourself as well.
Wow.
So those are two organizations that we are very fortunate to work with, and we love those partnerships.
Wow, that's amazing. Being a caregiver, it's a learning process, and you hit yourself against the head many times, and you're like, oh my God. And you just keep doing more research and more research. So helping people that are caregivers and cutting some of the steps, it's life-changing for the caregiver and for the patient.
Being a caregiver is really hard, and it's a role that's often overlooked. And so when people ask us, how do we help our friend who's going through treatment? How do we help the caregiver? Let them get out of the house for a little while. Right. Just go and sit with your friend for a bit so that her caregiver can just get away for a little bit.
Right.
You need that break, because that's a 24/7 job that just does not let up. Yeah. And they really need a break.
Mm-hmm. So congratulations. It's been 5 years last year, right?
Last year was 5 years, yes.
Yes, amazing, amazing, amazing. And so tell me, you have a few events. You have an upcoming event, and I know you have your September event. So let's talk about that.
Yes. So coming up now in April, we have a cycle, an escorted ride down to...
Which is the first one?
This is the first one that we do of this type. It's an escorted ride from Key Biscayne down to Black Point and back, put on by Winning Cycle USA and Team Solano, which we're so grateful for them to do this. And we're looking to make this a yearly event, because we're really excited how the community and the cycling community has come together to
100%
for us on this. So
especially in Miami, cycling is a big deal.
Exactly. So we're looking forward to that in April. June 13th, we have our big survivorship summit, where we've always hosted this only in Spanish, and this year we're doing it bilingual.
Is that the one in Miami-Dade?
That's the one at Miami-Dade College in Doral.
In Doral?
Correct. And so it's going to be a day where we can come together and learn all about survivorship, all the things we should be looking out for during our survivorship, whether it's our screenings, whether it's dealing with financial issues or living with long-term side effects, or caregivers as well. We want caregivers to be able to go and connect. And we'll have updates on different cancer types also. So we're really excited to offer it in both languages this year. And that is going to be a free event open to anyone in the community.
Wow, that's so nice. Miami-Dade I'm a product of Miami-Dade. I'm proud of it. College, and they do wonderful things. They're very involved with their community.
They are, and that campus is a really remarkable place.
They have so many campuses now.
I know.
I remember South. That's it.
They've grown a lot.
And downtown.
And that campus has been a home to us for quite some time now. So we're really grateful to be able to host this there.
So it's going to be in Spanish and in English.
And in English, yes. So what we'll do is that we have general panels happening in English first, while breakout sessions are happening in Spanish, and then we're swapping.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
It'll be fun.
Yes.
And then in September, we'll have our Go Pink event.
I saw that.
Yes. Last year,
it's a big party.
It is a big party. Last year, we had our big 5th anniversary. And this year, we're looking to change things up a little bit. So you'll look out for Go Pink Revamped for 2026.
That's amazing. And how can people participate in that event?
They can just reach out to us online. Feel free to shoot us an email at info@305pinkpack.org. Feel free to give us a call. We'd love to connect with the community and see how they'd like to get involved.
And you're also part of Give Miami Day.
We are. Give Miami Day is a very special day for us. It's when our champions come together for us and really push forward.
Wow. Yeah. That's hard work. Give Miami Day is hard work. Nobody realized how hard it is to be part of that as a foundation. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding, because you end up connecting with so many incredible people.
There's so many people. Yeah. You meet so many great people that have the same goals as you. It's just to make everybody a little bit happier and support people a little bit more and coming together as a community.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity to foster more partnerships.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yes. So I have to talk about the lemonade stand.
Mm-hmm.
That little is a little boy, right? Was the lemonade stand? I know I saw on Instagram he wanted to collect $300.
Oh yes, Ari.
That was the cutest thing in the world.
Ari. So my breast surgeon, Dr. Star Montner, that's
Okay.
her son. And he put together this lemonade stand to raise funds for 3 organizations in our community. It was for
Aw.
us, for Braca Strong, and for Project Disco Ball. And he was the sweetest. And when he brought that check for $100, because he split the earnings between the 3 organizations, and when he came to us and brought that check, he was so proud. He worked so hard. We
You
were
could
so
tell
grateful.
he worked so hard.
Oh, Ari's the best.
I was like going through it and I was like, oh my God, I have to mention him because
Yes.
yeah, I was courageous.
Yeah.
And that tells you what a big heart that little boy has.
He does. And, his parents are so supportive of his efforts in contributing to the community from such a young age for both their kids. They are always participating in events, and Dr. Montner takes them to everything so that they see and they connect with the community that she is supporting as well.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I loved it. And then I also want to talk about all the people that have said so many wonderful things
Mhm.
about you, and how you've come together and you've touched so many lives. It's amazing work what you have done.
Thank you.
So I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's so many. You guys have to look at her Instagram and her YouTube. There's so many women that have come and said that you just show up and help them and they get that support. And in December, you helped I think I saw 2 videos in Christmas.
Yes.
That was very important. Will you share that? How did that come about?
That came about and it was a spur of the moment thing that now it's going to be a yearly event for us. We had one of our members who reached out, and she had just had her double mastectomy and was going through chemo, and she asked if somebody was available just to help her put up the tree and some ornaments,
Right, because you can't
raise your arms.
You can't raise your arm.
And her little one was, I think, 2 years old. And, her family was coming to her house for the first time to celebrate the holidays because they knew that she wouldn't be able to travel. And so she just asked if somebody would be able to help put up these ornaments. And so I reached out to one of our ladies, Crystal, who has also started an incredible organization called Talk Breasty to Me. And I asked Crystal, I was like, is this something that we can do? Can we help people decorate their house for Christmas and for the holidays? And then reached out to Lindsay from Project Disco Ball, and we're like, yes, we can do this. And so we started a little late because it was already, December, but we were able to decorate a couple of homes for the holidays for families that really would not have had that help otherwise.
I thought that was beautiful.
And it was amazing. So next year we'll be starting early in November, reaching out to our families to see who can use that kind of support. Because again, it's one of those things that you don't realize can be difficult to do.
Right.
And you don't want a family to miss out on that time together.
No, especially when you have kids.
Yeah.
And then they're little,
and so much is going on, and they see so much going on that not having that joy around the holidays can be really impactful. And so we wanted to make sure that we can keep bringing the joy. So we started our sleigh squad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think you'll get a lot of the youth get involved with that. I think they would love to do that for coming in, decorating a Christmas tree.
It's a beautiful project, and just being part of that family's time is a blessing. It's really beautiful to see.
So if we only have a minute left, but what advice would you give a person that gets diagnosed with this out of nowhere and catches them by surprise?
You have to remember that nothing that you did brought this on. This is just things that happen. And you can always open your arms and welcome the help, because people want to help you, and it's so hard for us to accept the help. Accept it, because I promise you that one day you will be there to pay that forward to somebody else. So just open your arms and accept it gracefully.
Amen. How do you find your peace every day? because you have this peace. It's incredible when I speak to you. You're that there's that. I always say there's that silence that some people have, that special silence that brings you down, and you're able to calm down. What do you think has given you that?
I think I finally feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, doing what I was meant to do, and so I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here and happy to do what I can.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna cry.
I'm already crying.
We need more people like you in this world, and I will keep fighting to bring them out to the light, because I think it's so important that people know that there are good people out there like you. So thank you so much for everything you've done, and your beautiful family, and your sister, and Suzette. And it starts by one moment of giving. Yeah. And that was Suzette.
We can all make a difference.
Yeah. And your family, who was the village.
Absolutely.
So God bless them all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being with me here today. This is Wonder Women. There's nothing else to say. This is a beautiful Wonder Woman. And always keep believing. Keep hope alive. And thank you for being here. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoy Valentine's Day this year. And thank you for the community newspaper for this moment. It has changed my life, interviewing wonderful women like her. And so I hope it's changing yours. God bless you.